All right, U.S. men's national team are taking the field just shortly here today against Iran, so we're going to take a crack at another MLS club. I have this kit from Chicago Fire on loan from my friends at Football Top Broker. These guys are great, and they definitely can help you find any new or used kits. They're a great spot to find kits that are rare and hard to find as well. And if you're in the Denver area, they've been going down to the Celtic Tavern for any of the USA matches. You might find them there and be able to get a kit of your own. This one's pretty cool because it's officially licensed by MLS, but it doesn't look to be an original kit that was worn on field or as a training top. So that makes it rare and unique, and I really dig it. Also has some great embossed work of the MLS logo in checkered pattern around the kit. So let's dig into Chicago Fire, one of the first clubs that was ever an expansion club for MLS. They were founded in 1997 and started playing in the 1998 season, where they actually won a double, winning the US Open Cup as well as the league title. Their namesake is the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 that took out a large swath of the center of the city at that time. As you can see from their original badge, which is a cross of St. Florian, which is a common symbol for fire departments around the United States, they take a lot of their imagery from firemen and fire departments, especially with their original kits having this bar across the middle, affecting the bar that is very similar for a lot of fire department uniforms. Their original primary color is red, obviously that goes easily with fire. In recent seasons, they've shifted to their secondary color of deep blue as part of their image change since about 2020. Part of that image change meant they changed their badge as well, which you can see here changed to use a lot more of the light blue, as well as the six-pointed star from the flag of Chicago. Along with that League Cup double they won in their inaugural season, they had a lot of success in the early 2000s, where they won 3 additional US Open Cups and took the Supporters Shield in 2003, most of which was all under the tutelage of future US men's national team coach Bob Bradley. They play at Soldier Field, also home to the Chicago Bears, where they originally started, left for a stint at another stadium that was built specifically for them, before returning just a couple years ago to play once more at Soldier Field. They've had different rivalries between the late 90s and the early 2000s. It was really with LA Galaxy as well as with FC Dallas, with whom they still compete the Brimstone Cup. These matches became less frequent when they moved to the Eastern Conference, and yes, there are 2 conferences in MLS, very similar to most American sports. At that point, most of the matches that became their rivals were the ones with New England Revolution as well as DC United, with Revolution being the primary rival, seeing as they've met many times within the MLS playoffs. Their last rival is Columbus Crew. They defeated them in the US Open Cup, and that was a controversial final, which led to the spark of the rivalry, and it's also there because of geographical closeness. As far as former players, let's start with Carlos Bocanegra, one of the greatest defenders the US men's national team has ever had, having 110 caps for the country all time. He started his career with Chicago Fire before taking a European move to go to Fulham in England. Second, let's talk about another U.S. men's national team player in Ante Razov, who never truly hit the ground running for the U.S., but definitely did in Chicago, seeing as he's their all-time leading goal scorer with 94. And finally, Fire have been able to bring a lot of international talent, whether it's established or in recent years, younger talent, to the club and to MLS. In very similar fashion to LA Galaxy or LAFC, New York City FC, New York Red Bulls, and probably soon Inter Miami doing the same. Some of the standout names in that regard would be Bastian Schweinsteiger, as well as Pavel Pardo, Cuauhtemoc Blanco, and Christos Stoichkov, who won the Golden Boot at the 1994 World Cup. Their current squad has a lot of young talent, seeing as they're in a bit of a rebuilding phase because of a couple difficult seasons, having not made the playoffs in a few years. They have 2 young talents that I want to mention, one of whom is about to move overseas to Chelsea. That first man being Gabriel Solina, better known as Gaga, who is their goalkeeper and at 18 is probably a future U.S. men's national team #1 starter. He's also owned by Chelsea at the moment, having been bought from Fire in January and then loaned immediately back. The second young talent to talk about is also 18, and that's John Duran, a striker from Colombia. Originally a winger, he was brought in to be a central striker because of his height at 6'3", and because he's very strong at holding off central defenders. He's definitely another one to watch who has a bright future in MLS. And to pick out a third name to keep the trend of the international talent that Fire can bring in, Xherdan Shaqiri from Switzerland was brought in from Lyon, having previously played for Liverpool, Bayern, as well as Stoke City in the Premier League. So that's your rundown on Chicago Fire. I've had a couple of you guys asking for me to do this club for a while, so I'd want to thank Football Top Broker again because they gave me the kit to allow me to do it. It's a great place to go find kits. A lot of people have been asking me where to find a good place. Here it is, and here they are on Instagram. I 100% recommend them.